consistent and having problems and could go out and win races was probably I think '06 or whatever. So it's been a few years since I felt like honestly with everything being equal, we could go head to head with anybody, and I really feel like that this year. I feel like if we hit everything right, we could win at any given weekend. I feel that confident about my team and my equipment. So hopefully we can have a good day here today, still be in it when we leave here, hopefully within single digits or hopefully be ahead. And I really feel like the next 3 weeks, if we do everything right, and just everything goes even with everything, I feel like we can race with anybody. I feel like we can, we can race anybody head to head for it. So I feel good about that. You never know what's going to happen, but I feel like we're certainly capable. It's not about getting through this weekend. It's just, like I said, this is, I've obviously never won here, don't have a lot of good finishes here. So, just looking at that, I know this is probably going to be more challenging. The next 3 tracks, I think we've won at all of them and had good cars there and have had a decent history there. And I feel like all 3 of those are the type of tracks where if we hit it right, that we could have a chance to go win, and race with anybody. Where this one we can still do that. Certainly, just more challenging and probably more of a stretch to think, that I can beat the 48, 24, 11, 18. Some of those people head to head. I mean, we'd have to hit it just right, and I'd have to be not as clumsy as I usually am here.
We'll go to Tom Jensen. We'll go to the gentleman on the side here, and then finish up with Carlos. Go ahead.
Hi, Matt. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. In the spring race here, you led 96 laps, which is more than you led in your other 26 previous starts combined. And you won at New Hampshire, which you said after that race had historically been a track that you struggled at. How much do those 2 results, even though you didn't have a great finish in the spring, how much do those add to your level of optimism here?
Well, a lot. A lot. I mean, if that gives me, a lot more hope that you'll have a good run here from like what we did in the spring. And like you say, New Hampshire is usually bad. I mean, that makes me feel better about coming here and going to Phoenix, which in the past history for me haven't been as good. So I feel good about, our packages and our equipment, when it comes to short tracks and big tracks. So, I'm optimistic. I feel I'm excited to get on the track today and see what we can do. I feel pretty good about it.
Let's go with gentleman on the side right there. Raise your hand.
Matt, it's Matt Weaver, PopularSpeed.com. You look at the truck race today, or tomorrow rather, and you see a lot of guys that your son Ross races against. How optimistic are you that you think he can get a shot here in the next couple of years, and how close to you are you to that operation?
To which operation?
To Ross's.
Oh, well, I own all his late model stuff right now, so I'm pretty close to it. Real close to it. So, yeah, I mean, Ross has been doing really well. As we all know, it's a different time right now to move up and to get opportunities. It used to be car owners would call you and be like, hey, you want to drive my car? You might even get paid part of the purse or whatever. And you get an opportunity to move up and do it. Now they call you and they're like, hey, man, you want to drive my truck? Give me $120,000. You can drive it at Martinsville. So it's a lot different world than what it was. So certainly he's been running good, and I think if he can continue to run good and continue to work really hard at it, that he'll get his opportunity down the road.
Take the final question right over here. Raise your hand, Carlos. We'll get you the mic.
Hey, Matt. Carlos Mendez, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Considering the 48th championship history, do you sometimes get a sense that they almost run better when they're in the points lead?
I can't ever recall them running bad. So really, I don't. People always ask me, they're like, man, it's a great track for Jimmy. I'm like, is there a bad one? So that's because he's never had to race there. He's only had to race there about 2 times. Think about it.
Anything else from Matt?
No.
Final question over here, Mike.
Mike Nett from FrontStretch.com. Matt, obviously coming down to the win is a whole different story, but if you're coming down for 4th or 5th place, Jimmy's ahead of you, but you're a faster car in the last lap or 2, would you move him to get by him, or is it going to be a matter of racing as clean as you can?
No, I'd try to pass him. If I had the faster car and you're catching anybody, then you're going to go do what you can to try to pass them. So, one thing I always before they reconfigured Bristol, it was all on the bottom, and even this place, what I've learned, not so much racing it, but watching just as much as racing, is that if you have a good car, and everybody says it's a single lane track, but if you have a good enough car, you can pass. I've watched Jimmy win a lot of races here, Jeff win a lot of races here, Denny, and very seldom do any of their cars have a scratch on it when they're done.